We are live.
Hey guys,
What's up?
Not talking.
we're live.
We're
Okay,
live from studio. I don't know.
from Studio Marissa.
Studio me.
Yeah, I still have a
Marissa, I think you
headache,
sound a
so
little
I'm gonna
echoey.
lie
Maybe you should put headphones on.
down. Oh, I know,
I don't think.
Adrian. You need to invest in headphones,
You need to put
or ask
headphones
one
on
of your
probably.
siblings.
Well, yeah, but then again, what about others that are now watching in headphones?
Well, are you like watching it somewhere
No.
else?
We need to be in headphones for the people at home. It's not for them. It's so that our sound doesn't reverberate off of each other.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, I think I'm good.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, wait, can you hear me? But yeah. Oh my god, stop using us as a mirror.
No, this is not.
Okay, anyways, let's just get started. Okay, Marissa, go. You can start talking.
Okay. Welcome you guys. This is our second live as the FilAM Film Collective, and we are here today to talk about our scene that we just uploaded. Do you want to talk about that, Adrian? Because you directed it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so what we did was a scene recreation from the TV show Magkaribal, and we did the "You Want War? I'll Give You War" in my red stilettos. So hence why the title is called Red Stilettos, and it was great. It was really great, and it was a long time ago since we filmed it.
Can you explain for people who don't know what Magkaribal is, what it is?
Yes, Magkaribal in translation in Tagalog is rivals.
Oh,
Rivals.
see, I didn't even
Yeah.
know that.
Neither did I. Wait,
Yeah.
where are we live, Marissa?
We're live on YouTube.
On FilAM? How come I can't see it on FilAM Film Collective?
I don't
Sorry.
know.
Are we on yours?
No, we're on FilAM Film Collective. I see it here.
No, we're live. No, we're live at the Film Collective. I saw it pop up.
Here, sorry, probably should have shared it. Let me mute this so it doesn't do shit.
Comments. I just want to try to share it. That's all.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It should be. I see it here. Yo,
Okay,
I'm
so
live.
okay, so while they're figuring it out, I guess I'll just keep talking more about why the context of why we did that scene. So initially, we were supposed to do a different scene altogether, with another person, but then that didn't work out. So then I was like, oh shoot, what is my second option? And then I remembered the show called Magkaribal, which is one of my favorite Filipino soap operas, and hence why Trixie talked about how they only got the script like a day before was because I was kind of scrambling to find something last minute. I was like, what do I do? And like, what do I give them to do? Yeah, and then since they were both females, I also wanted to play on with like female empowerment, but more so like fierceness. So I thought, why not a better scene recreation to do than that? So yeah.
Yeet. Sorry, we're sharing the link.
Very good. Okay, so I'll keep on talking. Okay, so let me see if there's anybody commenting. Let me see. As I suspected, not.
No, because no one's watching us.
That's why we're trying to share it.
Oh, it didn't do. That's why we're trying to share it because it's like it's ugly. Wait, let me do it again.
It's really funny. The thumbnail I have is mostly me lying down.
It's funny because last week I was in the middle, and I was the one wearing red. So
well, there we go. We are on fucking brand.
Oh fuck! Sorry.
unfiltered.
Oh, Sorry, cursing is always a thing.
Oops.
It's cool. I totally forgot to tag you guys. It's fine. I'm just gonna keep sharing it to different things. Okay,
Oh
anyway.
wait, be careful. Oh wait, just be careful to not share too fast, or else Facebook is gonna be like, stop spamming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm
That's
guilty of that.
unfortunate.
I'm like, oh
Oh,
my
how
god,
funny.
sorry.
Okay, well, tell us more about the scene.
How do you feel?
Let me. Okay. How do I feel? Well, I mixed emotions. There you go. Mixed emo. Let me close up.
What are those emotions?
Mixed emotions because, well, because first of all, I'm just really glad that I got it out there, that we were able to get it out there. But more so, like, even going back to the filming night, that we finished it and we felt good about it. You know, although I was kind of like scrambling, like, how do I do this? You know, so I was really trying to fill in a lot of learning curves for me, and you know, so there was that. That part was stressful, but then visually, I did like, you know, like visually, I liked the performance. I like what I saw, but then. But then, as I was editing it this morning, I was like, "Oh no, I forgot." There was like a huge section. Well, not huge, but there was like a significant section that I forgot to, or not for I forgot, but yeah, I guess I forgot. I forgot to film that night, which was like Marissa's character's close up shot after they had switched. I was like, oh no. So that was also my, like, you know, let me see. I think there were more. Hold on. There was that. There was the sound, but then again, when I was editing it, and then when I was watching the actual scene for, you know, comparison, there was actually like wind noises. You know, there were actually cars passing by, which I don't think I heard the first time watching it. I was just like, wait,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so you know, so it actually, or we were actually able to execute it as close as we can. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, even given that like big oopsies, I was like, man, oh well. Yeah. Which is why we're doing this, which then I realized, or which is then why it clicked to me why we were doing this, because we learned this is where literally where we are. This is where we're gonna learn these things, you know, versus like getting to like someone else's professional set and you're like, oops, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, well, before you were on the chat, me and Trixie were talking about, like, that's sometimes the best way to learn is, like, when you really mess up, you'll remember that mistake and you'll, like, there's a likelihood you won't make the same mistake again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
that's just how it is. That's like the
Mhm.
learning thing. And we were
Mhm.
talking about how like we were talking about yesterday. I brought up yesterday in our improv on my channel and how it was like a hot mess, but it was like, I mean, it's hilarious, but it was a hot mess, and how it's just like, even though it was like that, I'm still proud of us for doing it, because I was telling Marissa, and she agreed too, like, you know, like when we feel bad about like not putting out perfect things, we think about how like there are a lot of people who want to do things, but they never end up doing it. So I would rather be like messy and whatever than never trying.
Yeah.
Yes, which is then also like one of our like main core values for the FilAM Film Collective, is just to just go for it, you know.
Yes. We literally, I'm pointing at you because I'm like, we said that. Marissa said that before you got here. And I'm like, yes, you guys are the same train. Yeah, see, it's all good.
And we're wearing similar shirts.
Same wavelength.
Same
Back.
wavelength.
Yes. Yeah.
What kind of
Yeah,
shirt is it? Mine's a beer shirt. Is yours is like a, what is it? What's Crooks? What's Crooks?
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
He's like, I don't
Just
know.
Crooks. It's just Crooks. I don't know. It
But-
was just given to me.
What? Oh, it's like. Oh,
Is it
okay.
just a brand?
Yeah, a brand.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about you? What about you both?
I mean, it does feel like
Feel
it feels like
good.
that was so long ago. It feels like so long ago, even though it was, what, 2 months ago?
God.
It was a long time.
January?
It was 2 months.
It
Yes.
was. It seems like last year,
It
but not like
does.
December. It seems like last year,
Yeah.
like 12 months
Yeah.
ago.
Because so much has happened since the beginning of the year.
It's true.
Okay, I mean, I don't have like extreme amounts to say. First of all, like I liked it. Like it like going into it, obviously as a non-actor, I was like, oh god. And I was just like, this is gonna be a cringe fest, like for me personally, not for everyone else involved. But I was like pleasantly surprised with my performance and just like remembering like shooting it. And again, like that was the first time I felt like comfortable acting, and I don't know, it was fun, and it's good to see it all come together. And Trixie did an amazing job. I honestly, like, even though as a filmmaker, yeah, like there's a part, like, again, like you learn that you needed the reverse of me, but like she did such a good job with her monologue that like I didn't miss it too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's like you didn't have, like, she delivered it like straight. It wasn't like we had to cut to like a different take, so it worked.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely has opened me up to like acting a little bit more. Again, not trying to be a lead role anytime soon, but I'm open to it now.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I think if you guys at home like watched our first scene, Marissa was in that too because we needed a Michael. And I feel like you can just tell, like, from one scene to the other, like your comfort like jumped so much. Like you're so much more comfortable, and like I thought you did a good job too, especially for someone who doesn't, like, who, like, you're just like, no, dude, like, this isn't rude.
I know, rude.
This isn't what you want to do. Like, the acting part isn't necessarily what you want to do. You're doing it for us. But I thought you did a really good job. Also, your face like looks really good on screen.
Thank you.
Like your phone structure and everything. I don't know. Like, I'm just like, your features just super pop on camera.
You were both having a bone structure.
We both were. We were serving. We embodied those characters.
Oh, God, this is not a mirror,
girl. I know, but you're using it as a mirror.
It's called authenticity at its finest. How y'all doing, audience?
Adrian, you're distracting. That's what's happening.
What is happening?
Sorry, my face was just so ashy. Okay, continue.
You're just distracting, you weirdo. The fuck? Okay, yeah, I ain't going to start talking until this motherfucker's done.
Moisturizing.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh. Okay, wait, hold on. We gotta. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking, Trixie. And then we have a thing from Rich. That's not on Facebook. That's not on YouTube.
Yeah, he sent it to our chat. Yeah, I thought, like, I think it was really fun to do a, basically a soap opera, like a Filipino soap opera. At the Tagalog soap opera, because I mean, like, it's different, like it's a little more like over the top and kind of cheesy, but like in a great fun way to be, you know, like who stands in a doorway and goes, Vera! Like, okay,
yeah,
like,
get some fresh air.
Yeah, I shaved, you're welcome. But like, you know, like to do those kind of things, and yeah, to have a scene where it's just like Marissa and I are just like facing off, and it's super funny because I don't know if you could tell, but Marissa and I were like standing like hella close to each other's faces. I remember just feeling like, this is so close, but obviously this is what you're doing because that's what happens when you're filming and stuff. But I just remember, I think because we were like enemies and we were doing this, that it felt super close. Like it felt even more close. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, like my character is like, I don't want to be this close to this person, but I had to for the tension.
Yeah, for the tension.
Yeah.
Which was fun because then I just started touching you because I was like, because it was so funny.
I know.
Like, because I got that idea because like you were super giving off vibes like I hella don't want to be here, like I hella hate you, and I'm just like I'm just gonna touch her then.
I know. I like the lint pick. I like the lint pick. It's so good.
My power play.
Yeah, even like even me as Marissa in the moment, I was like, oh my god. I was like, what?
Yeah, I really appreciated the provoking that you did too. You know, kind of like, hey, we're in this together. You know, we gotta survive this scene, which also then reminded me of the first scene recreation that we did. You know, Trixie and I were both cold outside, and we were just like, you're like this, you know, because you were like, come on, we can do this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It was funny. Yeah, it was super cold.
I'm just curious. Okay, I mean, I know that y'all probably have already answered it, but what is one thing that came to your mind when you saw it visually, like when the this video premiered like
Oh god.
46 minutes ago? If there's anything y'all remember
Visually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, visually from visually looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
like seeing it.
I mean, like what I said, like Marissa's face really popped on screen for me. Like, especially that last shot of her. I was just like, damn girl.
Yeah, she was like,
look at that face though. Which is like also like it was very fitting because it's like a, you know, it's a freaking Tagalog soap opera. Like, it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like what Edrian said, like super fierce, and like it was like super fierce and super face, and like obviously like it's a Magkaribal, like they're fashion people, hence like the way that we were dressed. If you guys didn't know that, like right, Adrian? It's yeah, they're like fashion people. They're in the fashion industry. So even though
your characters were actually two different generations of fashion queens.
Okay. So we're two generations of fashion queens, and I thought it was fun to do that, and I thought like, you know, like the way it came out visually, you know, besides us filming in my front the front of my house, you know, like besides that, I thought like it felt right. I thought it felt right.
Yeah, no, I thought it felt right. Like it's funny because like obviously Tracy lives there and like we know the space, but it's just like it worked. It worked. Like I had no qualms with it. I noticed like the little zoom in you did at like the end of Trixie's monologue. That was good. I like that. Was that internal, like the editing? You just keyframed it?
Are you talking about on your shot, on your face?
No, it was on Trixie's. Like she was just doing her end monologue. Anyways, I mean, I felt like you did a push in. I don't know if it was digital or if it was manual, but it was good.
I don't think
like
so.
To it. So
yeah, I remember the one on Marissa's face.
That's what I remember. Yeah, Marissa, I did a like an editing zoom in only because then I was like, how do I add? You know, I was like, how as someone that was also editing this, I was like, how do I like visually carry on the tension that's happening versus just it being kind of like flat in terms of like just like this and this and this versus this and this and this, you know?
Yeah.
Like static basically. So.
For sure.
I actually have a question for you, Marissa, about that. Because I know when I was in my one film class, my one of two, my production class, like we talked about like zoom ins and how like manual, unless like you're super pro, is not super fun because it just comes out hella shaky. Like what are your feelings on that? Like, do you like to do it manually or do you like to wait until post?
I think it first depends on like what am I shooting. I actually am very much a fan of the indie look. So indie look is basically a lot of indie films just shoot handheld, so you kind of get that natural shake because you kind of feel more of like you're in that world. It's a little like more like voyeuristic. I like that style, but some people want something that's a little bit more, I guess, classically cinematic. If I were to do like an actual like on-set traditional zoom, I would like to have like a dolly or like a gimbal, something so it's not like shaky. I think it's just really dependent on like what the tone of the scene is, and I guess what genre you're going for too. Yeah, like if, for instance, like I think this one, I don't know. Again, it like depends on the director or the editor. I think a digital zoom would work because like it is a soap opera, so it's not like the most serious. So you can do kind of a little bit more like digital. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Like
yeah.
in the soap opera, like we're in each other's faces. Like it's
Yeah.
very close anyway, and it seems like, oh yeah, we're just part. It seemed like definitely like we're watching something that's very personal, and we're not necessarily supposed to be here. But in like a soap opera way, like versus some other episodes, you know, like not episodes, some other scenes like that are more like, you know, big box office dramas where obviously like that can't be shaky because it's ruining the moment now.
Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't want something shaky if it's like a huge, expansive, like it's a sci-fi scene and you're just like being revealed like this spaceship or like this planet. I want it to look smooth. I want it to look sleek. I would want something that makes it stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the zoom, there was, remember y'all the very first zoom or in the original shot video, there's like this super zoom on Trixie's character's face.
Yeah.
I was like, I did it. I was like, oh no, it's a fixed camera, it's a fixed lens. But then I was, well, because when I was editing it earlier, I tried one take where I like did a, like I tried to zoom it in, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. It's just like super, unless you like Marissa said, unless you have like a dolly or a gimbal, it just comes out like that. And you're like, oh, okay, this looks bad.
Yeah. I thought it was fine because again, like I remember when we did try to like rework that, because I told you like it's a fixed lens, like you're not going to be able to do that. But just like the whip pan over to Vera, oh no, when she's saying Vera to Victoria, the character's name is, like I think it works. Like it again, like we're not trying to do each scene like by you know to the T. We're just obviously as close as we can, but adjusting where it needs to be adjusted.
And then adding our own flares to what we want.
Yes, which was actually, I think, like, I remember I told y'all that's what made this whole scene work, was you both were like, y'all were yourselves and those characters so good. I was like, okay. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you felt that.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I'm happy that we did it. I'm did that, and then I'm happy now that we finally got it out. It's been like 2 months in the waiting.
Right.
And then a little, and wait, hold on. And sorry, and then a little trivia too for those that are watching. Remember, we then went straight to filming our trailer. We filmed our trailer right after that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We need to make another trailer.
Yeah.
So then if y'all go to our YouTube channel and then you see us 3 in there, that was us like shortly after we filmed this scene. So that was fun. Yeah.
It was fun. Lorraine was such a good sport. It was such a good sport.
I know. Thanks, Lorraine. She's probably not watching, but if she ever watches this.
Yes, yeah. I was gonna say too. I feel like sometimes it's the cameos that are the small cameos that are so. Wait, is there such thing as a small cameo? No, a cameo. Just kidding. I think.
A cameo is ready.
Small.
Okay, just kidding. Yeah. See, I'm learning. I feel like almost all the time the cameos are probably like where it's at because they only have such a short amount of time to leave that impact. And I feel like for me, half the time I'm like, I remember the cameos more. It's like, oh, they just peeped in, but then okay.
Yeah, like, do you remember Miley Cyrus's cameo in High School Musical 2?
Yes. I didn't remember after watching it like originally, but then I saw the music video again. I was like, oh.
I'm just kidding. It's not that great. I just remember that one because I was obsessed.
I think So I didn't watch High School Musical, but did you guys watch Princess Bride? Sorry, no, Princess Diaries.
Yes.
Yes, but yeah.
So like, do you remember how Sandra Oh was in it as Principal Gupta?
Yes.
Oh no.
No. So like so I rewatched it. Like she did a freaking great job in her cameo. Like she only had so many lines, like in because it's a feature film, but like she stood out. Like she was hilarious, and I'm sure like that's partly why like she went on to do like Grey's Anatomy and then Killing Eve, and I don't know if Sideways came out first, but like she has a great career, like long running career. Like and she freaking won. She freaking won her awards
Yes.
and accolades and stuff, and she's totally deserves it. And I just was watching her in Princess Diaries. I'm like, man, she did a great freaking job in her cameo. Like, yeah, cameos can go a long way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of times too, it's like cameo. I mean, obviously, it's like the first step, but it's like if you play those cards right, like she did, it's like, yeah, so much wonders can happen.
Yeah, people like working with you.
Yeah.
I forgot what my other question was. I can't think of it. Oh.
Yes. You can. I think I have something to say while you try to
Oh,
remember what you were gonna say. I think for me, because I think as a director, I think I also want to talk about the things that I've learned from doing this. I think it would be relevant. So let me see. Definitely for sure. Um, really taking the time to look over the shots, because I think for me it's something, since this is still something that I'm recently new at and something that I'm recently kind of getting back into. It's like I definitely underestimated the power of like shot planning, then because then I remember your shot by shot, the shot list that you had.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh yeah, that really makes the biggest difference. um Setting time to rehearse really makes the biggest difference. Or at least even if it's just once, like being able to like, hey, look, here's what we're gonna do. Let me see. Hmm. Oh, it's been a while ago. It's been a minute. Yeah, I mean, I think just long story short, just being prepared in general, like being so prepared that you feel like you're over prepared, but you can never be over prepared. That's so.
Yeah, because things are gonna shift.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we knew that there were gonna be cars, but we didn't know there were gonna be cars like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But you guys just stay tuned for Trixie's scene, because we have actual lav mics for that one, so we're just improving.
Oh god, I need to start editing soon, or it's gonna be like a freaking time.
Yeah, I feel like what's the trouble with this too is that like we'll shoot it and it's like whoever's director, it's like, oh, I have time, and then it's like the next scene already has come out and you're just like, oh wait, I should probably edit mine, and then like it's like gets to the week of and you're like, oh, I haven't edited it, because that was me.
I'm hella gonna because so next week is my director preview and or like perspective, which I feel like will be easy.
Yeah.
But then I'm definitely going to start to actually edit, because I'm definitely probably going to have to ask you, Marissa, for help. We're probably going to have to do this like in this live call or something. So I can be like, oh my god, I need help. Like,
what else are we going to do?
I'll have like problems matching it up, but maybe I will. Because I've never, like, I'm assuming I'm just like, yeah, overlay the freaking audio like and just match it. But I don't know. Sometimes those things end up being harder. Sometimes they're not. And I don't think it will be a problem, but also I know I'll probably like want to talk to you about color and stuff like that, and more like technical post stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, more technical.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
for sure.
Adrian, this will be interesting too, because I had my shot list for my thing. But when we were shooting, I definitely made choices to be like, oh, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. And we'll see if that will bite me in the butt or if I was right. Because in my head, I was like, I think I have what I want. But I mean, I could be wrong. I could be hella wrong. So
Hi,
let's
Rich.
see. Hey, Rich.
I don't know what this is, but all right.
Oh yeah,
Is Rich there?
Yeah.
that was his comment. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see, Adrian. We'll see if I have everything I need. I should, but I could
We're
also
not
be
seeing any
wrong.
comments from him. Hold on. Let me.
Are you in?
Live comment.
So you have to go to live comments in the StreamYard window.
Oh, he's inside the StreamYard?
No, he's on YouTube. He's on
But you
YouTube
can
on
open
the
it.
live chat. You have to go down to the bottom right corner and go to live comments.
Oh, okay. Okay, because nothing's popped. Yeah,
Oh,
because
are you on your
I'm looking at the
phone?
thing and-
I don't know how to see it on
No,
your phone.
I'm looking at the video on on our video at the laptop, and I didn't see his comment pop up at
Oh,
all.
yeah.
But okay, I mean, I'm sure it's just a delayed reaction. Actually, before we go, he had a comment. Hold on, that I probably maybe should answer live for the sake of transparency. Okay, he says, hold on, let me get out of the comments. He said, "Great video, guys. Just curious about the music choice. Seemed kind of off. Maybe it's my phone. I don't know." Okay, so since I did that, I'm gonna take the liberty of answering. I was definitely playing with the different musics that I had and how each music not just affected what was happening, but also like kind of bringing it to the next scene. Because in the original scene, there was only, from what I saw, from what I heard, they only had one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then again, but then again, that's the cool part too, and that's what happens when you work for a TV show like that. You actually get songs musically scored for just for the show exactly, you know. So, but for me, I was almost scrambling to find different songs that I feel like it's like kind of classical enough yet fierce at the same time, that had that fierce undertones to it, you know. So I don't I yeah, I actually have similar sentiments to you, Rich. I was like, which and then the final version actually was probably like the 10th variation of
Mm.
like the song. The Let me just go back to my thing. Hold on. I think I had about, let me see. One, two, three, four. Like I think I had three to four. Like I think four different tracks playing in there. But then I was like playing it earlier. I moved it. I like changed it. You know, I was like splicing it and stuff. Which also then made me realize that sound in general is its own battlefield. So
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's big.
yeah,
it is big.
yeah.
Well, that's why it's its own department. I mean, even just like the editing, usually, you know, like not usually, when you get quote unquote bigger or when you get bigger, the director usually will not be the editor.
Yeah.
Like they're different, like specific skills. Like, you know, everyone can do everything. You can definitely learn how to do everything. But like when you get down to it, like at some point in film, like Benito, one of the founders of the San Diego Filipino cinema, was telling me, you know, like you learn everything and you go everywhere in film so that you know what you want your specifics to be and what you really want to specialize in.
Yeah.
Because that's where, you know, once you find out what you want to specialize in, that's where you obviously need to put your time, because to master something takes a long freaking time.
Yeah.
Takes a minimum of 10 years.
Those 10,000 hours.
Yeah, 10,000 hours.
From what I heard, 10,000 hours is 10 years. Or let me Google that. Hold on.
Well, maybe that's like the short change, but you can get the 10,000 hours earlier than 10,000, like than 10 years.
I'm gonna do that math. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that math.
Because whatever. Anyways,
Oh, maybe it's not 10 years. Hold on.
No, it's not 10 years.
It's 417 days.
There's 8,000 hours in 1 year.
A year.
525,600.
5,600
25 days.
Okay, we are not doing math right now.
Okay.
Don't be the math meme.
Yes. Okay.
I love
so
that.
yeah, I mean, I guess if we're done with this, do y'all want to talk about
I wasn't
maybe.
done.
Oh, just kidding. Okay.
Jeez,
Okay.
rude. She's just so rude today, Adrian.
I'm not rude. I am trying to take as much in the director's seat before I transfer to Trixie. No,
Oh my god.
Jesus.
So, Adrian, this is actually like one of the things like I learned about. Like I'm treating this as like a pure critique moment. Like this is one of the things I learned about, and hopefully I didn't do it in mine. But I remember, and I think you had to use it because you had to cut at some point because you said that at the end you only had me and then me.
Yes.
Because we didn't film Marissa. But, and Marissa, please correct me if I'm wrong. But like, so for that final end where like I turned around, right? Like everything is shot over a certain shoulder. So I think Marissa, it's over like your left shoulder.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
And then when we flash back to the out, it's over the other shoulder.
No, yes, yeah. I totally forgot about that. That was my thing too. Like, you all were both in the this way essentially. Yeah.
Oh my god, can you explain that? Can someone explain that better to like people who don't know what the hell we're talking about?
So basically, like it really just has to do with screen placement of characters. Ideally, I mean, I guess it's just the rules can be broken, but you have to know the rule before you break it. You want to keep your characters on the same side of the screen just for spatial like reasons, because otherwise it's going to be very disorienting for an audience to watch. So next time you watch a scene on a sitcom, I feel like is usually like, or whatever show you're watching or movie you're watching, if you see like two people talking, you'll have like a shot of like the two of them. And if like, say like, I'm going to use, because you're seeing Adrian and Trixie right now, like if they were actually in the same room, and so like, and they
face
the
me.
way, yeah, face Trixie.
Face me. Adrian, face me. No, like face me, like you see how I
face.
No,
other way. It's confusing because so basically, like you're shooting right, and like if I were to shoot over the shoulder, I would want to keep Trixie, and it's gonna be confusing for someone because it's like I'm looking at the screen right now. You would want to keep Trixie on the left, and then you want to keep Adrian on the right, just so again you have that spatial awareness of where they're at in the scene, in the setting. It's hard to explain if like we're just sitting at a computer. But yeah, there's a thing called the 180 rule. Again, it has to still do with keeping characters on the same side of the screen. Maybe I'll make a video about that. I mean, I was cinematographer for the next scene, so I can maybe go into that. Oh my god, it's weird.
No, yes, no, I agree, because I kind of feel like I think maybe what had happened was the turn. I think because then obviously I didn't like prepare the turn enough, and I was like, so
yeah.
happened, I was like, oh, dang it.
And honestly, like I'm not a cinematographer, so even I get mixed up sometimes, like when I'm planning out shots. When like for instance, like you did have like a weird blocking moment where there was a turn, so all you need to do is have a shot that you establish that they break the 180, so you see the characters move, and then you have to reestablish where the characters are on the scene, and it all just takes with shots.
That, and also I remember now too, I'm remembering everything when I also I think should have given you to enough like walking time to like say your lines. And then also I think with Marissa's first line going forward, there's a continuity error because we don't see Lorraine leave and Marissa started. Then I actually had Marissa start off like at a different section versus the one on the wall where she was like, "God, Giorgio Armani," so I noticed that.
I feel like that one doesn't bug you though, because like you see me, like it switches off, and it's like, you can assume that in that time Lorraine walked away.
Yeah.
I feel like that one worked for her, especially because we know that there was nowhere for her to go except for a certain place. but the audience doesn't know that. So she could have easily walked like the other way and not behind where we were shooting.
True.
For their eye.
Yeah. But even then, I did feel like there was something about that was still a little bit kind of like, like just kind of, So, yeah.
I mean, it's tricky and it's fun to learn all those things. Like, I think what I learned, again, Marissa, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you can break, you break the rules, like, by, like, oh my God, you break the 180 rule by 1, the actors move, 2, you move the camera, or 3, you do a point of view shot, or like you do a shot that's like away.
Yeah.
Like and then so it's okay. Because I remember my professor San Diego City College, y'all. He showed us, I think it was it was like a war movie, and I can't remember. I remember it had like Matt Damon in it and Tom Hanks, but I can't remember which movie it was. But like he showed it to us because it had all those changes. Like the actors moved for 1. Actually, no, maybe just 2 of them. Or maybe all 3. But I remember definitely the actors moved for 1, which we did in Edrian's. Like, we made that switch. And then there was lots of, like, point of view shots of, like, other people watching them so that they would just keep returning in other shots. Oh, Saving Private Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I was like, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, it's one of those things, again, like, you learn as you go. Like, same with, like, shot listing, like, when you're planning out your shots. Like, you start off with a very basic coverage of, like, making sure that obviously the scene's covered, but also that you're not breaking the 180 rule as much as you can, and understanding where, a new 180 has to be established. And again, like, that just comes with, like, time and, like, watching other films, other shows, and seeing how other directors do it. Because, like, even I, like, don't have that as much sensibility as, obviously a TV director. It just comes with time.
Yeah. I remember one of the hardest things for people, or that we talked about a lot, was like eye line.
Yeah.
Especially if your characters are looking from something far away or like farther away, that like your eye line has to be on that 180 rule. Like, and that can be harder to tell when you're looking at the camera and you're like, I think they're looking the right way. And you're like, crap.
Yeah.
Later on like, you go home and edit and you're like, no, that was wrong. They're not looking at they're not looking right. They're like
in the right way. Or like sometimes you can look like too low or like too high, and it's just like you don't realize how much like that makes a difference until like you are editing the scene and just like, oh fuck, we did it wrong.
Oh, and also like facing, like I think for that one scene where I did the establishing shot where you two were facing each other, I think there was a scene where I was like, no, I should have told Marissa. I didn't tell Marissa to like cheat out more just a little bit, so it's not just like all cheek,
Yeah, and also just like understanding that like we have whatchamacallit, just constraints, because like we're shooting on a fixed lens and it only goes so wide. And yeah, I mean, and this is just like obviously like if you were in that situation, like yeah, you'll have to cheat your actors, but like this is just a tip, like when you work with SAG actors, let's say, you should never like move it, like cheat an actor. Like you're supposed to move the camera. Like that is kind of the rule. Unless obviously it's a blocking move, like they're doing something, but like don't be like, you need to like move your face. Like don't do that. Because that's just not, it's the actor's job to move as the character would. And like this is not a critique on you. I'm just saying like in the real world,
there's a difference
between the camera's job to capture.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Can Edrian, do you want to explain what cheating out is for the people who don't understand, who don't know?
Yes. So in that context of what I was just sharing with y'all was cheating is like, so Trixie, or Marissa. Okay,
Okay.
so
Oh no. Okay.
yes.
Oh
Okay,
god.
so there you go. Yes, so there you go. Okay, so Trixie is like looking how she would normally look, but then if I told her to cheat it out just a little bit to face towards the camera, a little bit more. There you go. Maybe go back just a little bit. Go back a little bit. There, yeah, there you go. Notice how she had to turn just a little bit for it to look just to for it to be perceived a little bit more normal and for her face to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I explained that well.
No, it makes sense.
It would make more sense if I was also sitting up too, and they could see more of my body here. Oh god. So not cheating out, so you can see more of my body.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Open. Which apparently I just learned because I did not know that, Marissa. So
yeah, and like okay, like obviously again, like there's always like exceptions to the rule. So like I'm gonna reference Trixie saying so sorry, people at home that don't understand this. But like for instance, if you're shooting kind of a close up and you want someone to like dirty the frame, so dirtying the frame is basically you just see like their shoulder in it, then yeah, you can cheat them in that sense. But you should never tell an actor like how to move. And like because in terms of like again, like cheating for the camera, if that makes sense. Like in terms of like, yeah, the facing, and also like I'm just saying again, like we had the constraint of a lens, like a very tight lens, and we had the constraint of like we were shooting through a little doorway in Trixie's porch yard. So again, it's like it's no one's fault. It's just more of like an etiquette thing. Like once we are in, bigger sets, we'll understand. Like okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You all will see behind the scenes.
I mean, I didn't know that. So I guess cheating out is mostly for like stage, which that's most of my experience is stage. Like we cheat out.
Yeah.
Because like if you're like in person and it's on a stage, like you can't move. You're not a camera person who can move. Like you're just the audience.
Yeah, it's just the audience. Like they're static. So like yeah, you are gonna play to them, but like the camera can move. So
oh, I didn't know that either. Until now. So.
Yeah,
interesting.
Because your experience is mostly stage.
Yeah, and like
we're stage people.
I think it's usually like honestly more practiced in like sitcoms, so like 3 camera shoots. Like if you're watching like a Friends or a Big Bang Theory, like again, even though there may be a live audience, there's 3 cameras, and like if the character's like over here, then the camera needs to move out. The character Sheldon or whoever is not gonna like play to the camera because it's right there.
Yeah. That makes sense. And also like again, like in film, like it's more there's more departments and stuff than there would be on stage.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming like also like you're not supposed to tell them what to do because like they're another department, but also they're being directed by other people, and that's like they're being directed by the director, and that's what they're supposed to listen to for blocking.
Yeah.
Like crew is not in charge of their blocking, like director is in charge of their blocking. Which makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But we work with what we got, and like it's important.
Yeah, and it's us, so it's nice because then,
which is also then why I feel like in the end when finally we premiered it, I was like, oh, because there were so much like not too much, but there were like several constraints, and I was like, so yeah.
Yeah, that was like it worked though. It really worked. I mean, because it's my house, I remember the only thing that I was distracted by was there's like a Bernie 2020 sticker that's blue.
Oh yeah.
On my door. And because like it's just because it was blue and also it's my house, and I was like, it's Bernie. You can't read it though. I just know what it was. You know what I mean? But yeah. Like no, I thought like it actually didn't like distract me. I think it's because it like most of it is just like all the same color anyways. Like it's like, all right, this is what we are. Like this is what we're doing. Yeah.
So thank you, Trixie, for letting us film there.
No,
thank you.
The next one is in my place as well.
Trixie, aka the thoughtful beast, aka the landlady.
Hey man, it's easier for me because then we can all drink and just sleep
I know, right after.
right
Yeah.
after.
I know, like, I mean, when we shot like our very first scene, it was like I was so exhausted. So I'm like, I'm so glad my bed is just upstairs.
Ah,
Right?
I
It's
was
nice.
jealous. You had to drive.
I know.
Thankfully, Trixie drove us there, but then even driving from Trixie's place, I was like,
Yeah, you live south.
yeah.
yeah.
You
Well,
two live
not
super
as south as Benares, so thank
Yeah.
God. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's why my house works too, because it's the middle of you
Yeah,
guys.
you're the middle ground. You're the middle
I'm, like,
ground.
literally like middle, and I'm like, all
Hey,
right.
look, he popped up.
perfect.
He said, "Drinking emojis."
Your
Yeah.
favorite.
Drinking.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What did Marissa? Did you want to say anything else before Adrian transitions out of?
No, I think it's good. Great job, Adrian, on directing again. Like I had a really good experience, and great job, Trixie. Like it was so good. Like monologues. I love monologues of like. Well, the thing is like who really is the villain in this scene? It's just like you don't really know. I mean, unless like okay, if you didn't have context, you wouldn't really like know.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Should I give that away, or should I leave that to the imagination?
No, leave
Leave
it
it
up.
to the
No,
imagination.
the imagination. I think that's what's cool about this scene is that you don't really know.
Yes.
It's like both very powerful women, and you're just like,
Both are kind of
who's more powerful?
Like
They both are powerful.
Anti-heroes. There you go. They're
Yeah.
fighting for what they believe is true, and they just
Yeah.
Which is why I love this show. Like actually I think I told you all I started rewatching it
Sorry.
during the time that I was getting ready to put this out. I was like, it's a great show. When they get it in subtitles, I'll send it to y'all. It's a really great show.
I'm glad you got to live your Magkaribal fantasy through us.
Through y'all vicariously. So thank you
Yeah.
for portraying them.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yay.
Okay, what do you want? What did
you want to talk about for the next 7 minutes?
Well, I mean, I think then I'm finally ready to transition, hand the baton to Trixie, because then I wanted to just transition into what we're looking forward to for this.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. 3. Wait, let me brush it one more time. Hold on.
Oh my God.
It's a brush. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. There you go. Grab it.
My hand ate it. There you go.
That's weird.
Oh, Trixie, you're grabbing me too. Hold on.
It's a magic trick. I made it all disappear. So the next scene that we're doing is a scene from Rocky 4 or Rocky Balboa. Rich will correct us in a second.
I think it's Balboa. I think that's what you said. I remember.
I thought that was wrong. Whatever. We're doing a scene from one of the Rockies. It's with Rocky and his son, Robert. Adrian plays Robert, and Rich is Rocky, and Marissa is our lighting and camera person, and I'm directing. Which I actually am looking forward to your guy. Oh wait, did we ask Rich to make a perspective for us? Rich, make a perspective for our channel. There you go. Yeah. I'm actually excited to hear what they have to say, because and we said this before, and I don't take it I'm not going to be insulted, but I have a heavy hand in things. I'm like this. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's for everyone. It's not like I try to be a biatch or anything. I just also know I have a heavy hand. And I'm very direct.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you guys aren't direct. I'm just very much I'm just gonna say this, and you're going to you have to know that I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying this because we need to succeed. So I'm actually very interested, especially for Adrian, because I did a lot to you.
To get me in character.
Yeah, it was all to a point, and also I'm actually excited to hear Marissa's too, because Marissa finally just gets to be camera and lighting. like it's still two things, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be like the first time she doesn't have to like she gets to focus like on her those technical skills of hers. So I'm actually really excited to hear about like how that went for her and stuff, because she's really good at that stuff. And so like, I mean, I feel like if I were her, that might be kind of freeing to finally just be like, I don't have to act and do this, or like I
Yeah.
don't have to
She
direct
doesn't have to
and do
act
this.
and direct.
All I had to do was like move around you guys.
Yeah, and so like, so there you go, Rocky 4. So yeah, like, and Rich, I'm excited to hear Rich's point of view too.
It's funny because he called me about a month ago and he was like, "Hey, when do you want this video up?" And I was like, "Let me look at our calendar. Sometime in April."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna go in April. I need to put that calendar out. But yeah, like it's gonna be fun. It was really fun to shoot. We had a lot of practice time for this one because I knew we needed it, because basically it was Rich had a huge monologue, and then Adrian's was almost like a monologue. It just like it was like really long lines interrupted by Rich a lot. Yeah, it was like chopped a little, but he had like really long lines. And then Rich's was just like a huge monologue. So I was like,
thank goodness mine was chopped out.
We're practicing. So I mean, that was fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, and I guess we'll just talk about that more later.
In the upcoming vlogs in April, so that's what that's gonna be. So
yes, so we're very lucky to have, like, because we shot early through April, even though obviously because we were supposed to shoot this next scene with Marissa.
Yeah, we're supposed to shoot
Saturday.
tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. We were scheduled, and obviously that's not happening.
Yeah,
quarantine life. So stay tuned and see what we're gonna end up doing with our channel. Because again, through April we'll have the same pattern, and then I'm feeling like May and maybe June, like it's gonna be a little different, which is totally fine because we ain't trying to die, so we're gonna stay in quarantine. We ain't trying to die or get other people sick, so we're gonna stay in quarantine.
Yeah,
that's just what it is. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Don't want to give too much away since they're all coming out soon.
Yes.
So yeah. Well, we have 3 minutes. Is there anything we want to discuss, or do we just want to end here? Does this feel like a good end?
I feel like it's a good end.
Okay, so let's just go through. We can start with Marissa. We'll go down the way. Just say who you are and plug your own stuff. Ready, go.
Cool. What's up? I'm Marissa Rojas. That is my channel name. If you just search that name, you'll find me. I make videos about personal development and self-love. I'm a filmmaker here, and thank you for watching.
I am the thoughtful beast. I don't know why that's hard. I should just be going directly down. I'm the thoughtful beast, and that's my YouTube handle and my Instagram and my Facebook page. So if you want to find me, look for me there. I do mental health advocacy and stuff like this too. But yeah, very big, like very focused on mental health advocacy. I'm gonna be streaming live a lot in these quarantine days, so look out for that. And to Adrian.
Hello, thank you all. Thank you, Trixie. Well, my name is Edrian Pangilinan, but underneath, oh gosh, let me see if I can do this. Hold on, this should be easy. There you go. Edrian Pinguino is the name of, well, it's Penguin, but then there's an O in the end. So Edrian Pinguino is the majority of my social handle, Twitter, Instagram, but just really Instagram. And then lastly, my channel is just about kind of my experiences in life as a brown male Filipino man, LGBT, all that fun stuff. And actually, during these social distancing, I'm excited to create more content curated for more connection, just more realness, more surviving. We ain't alone in this. So that's it. Oh wait, actually, there's gonna be I haven't told y'all, but there should be a behind the scenes of this coming out within the next couple of days. So whenever I get that, in between now and Trixie's first vlog on Thursday. So
Yay! Cool. Thanks for joining us, guys. Ready? Do you want to try to say it? Ready? 1, 2, 3. We are
Are the FilAM Film Collective.
It sounded like someone was starting to say the thoughtful beast. I was like, what?
What? No. That's not what you're going to say. Okay, thanks for joining us, guys.
Bye.